Hey, what's up? Been a while. Nameless and Faceless here, and I wanted to talk about something that's really, really, really pissing me right off. So I was I was on Facebook and I see this hospital saying, "Oh, please donate to your local hospital." I personally have a problem with this. Why do I have a problem with this? Well, I found out first that in Canada, doctors make about 300 to $400,000 or in between every single year, and nurses make anywhere from $50,000 all the way up to a little over $100,000, and anywhere in between. Also, I found out that in Canada, the government the government gives about $372 billion to the hospital industry every single year. And in America, $1.5 trillion was given from the government to the hospitals. I don't make a lot of money at my job. I really, really, really don't. Okay? My minimum wage or just a little bit over doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to a hospital. It's not going to change anything. And not to mention, here's why I'm pissed off. Some time ago, my mother went to the emergency room because she needed help. And she got there. She waited in the. She they have this thing where you get triage. The nurse sees you, asks you what's going on, takes your vitals, sends you in the waiting room. You wait. You go into another waiting room inside. Then they put you in this little room that has a bed. So that you're waiting in there for the doctor to come see you. She waited in there for 6 hours and nobody came. Nobody came. When I asked her, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, did you see the doctor?" She's like, "No, no, the triage nurse suggested some over the counter medication that actually worked." And when she saw the two doctors walking around, they were just moseying around, not giving two shits about people and whatnot. And she said she saw another lady in there who waited in that bed thingy for so long, she fell asleep. She fell asleep. The doctor came around, saw that she was sleeping. Did he bother to wake her up? No. She eventually woke up and asked the nurse, "Hey, what happened? I've been waiting over 8 hours." She's like, "Oh, well, the doctor came. You were sleeping. He left you alone. You're going to have to go back outside, get triaged, and wait again in the waiting room." Yeah, the lady went home. She's like, "I'd rather die at home than go through this garbage." Myself, I I live with some uh, mental and emotional conditions like anxiety and depression and whatnot. And I was having an anxiety attack, and I went to the hospital 2 times just because I needed some help. And the first time, the nurse was like, "It's inappropriate for you to be here." The second time, the doctor saw me and said, "You're wasting our resources." I'm sorry, why in the hell am I going to donate to a hospital when they get a shit ton more money? A shit ton more money than I'll ever see. And my piddly little money is going to be donated to the hospital so that a bunch of doctors that don't give a shit about my health or nurses that tell me that my being there is inappropriate because I need help. Yeah, I know. In Canada, mental health sucks. There's literally almost no mental health. It's garbage. It's crap. If you want to see someone, you got to pay for it. But if you need medications, yeah, you'll get them. And if you go to the emergency room, good luck seeing anybody. So yeah, I'm not going to donate to the hospital. Stop asking me to donate. Why don't you ask your doctors and nurses to do that? And might I just add, psychiatrists are they're the McDonald's of medicine. They suck. There's no use for psychiatrists. They just sit there, listen to your problems, and write you a script and write you off. You're not even human to them. I'm sorry, but psychiatrists don't matter. Psychologists, the one that actually care and talk to you and listen to you and give you suggestions, you gotta pay. You gotta pay the money for them. So, look, doctors, nurses, yeah, they deserve their pay. But stop asking me, somebody who makes very little cash, okay, who my hours get cut for money, that's not gonna matter. Okay, when my health doesn't matter to you, when my mother's been waiting in the waiting room for 6 hours, when that poor lady who's been waiting for a long time doesn't even get seen and told she has to go back out and get triaged again and then wait in the waiting room for another 8 hours, 16 hours so she could see anybody, for someone who may or may not care about her health, that's just stupid. Why don't you ask the rich people for donations? Why don't you ask the doctors and the nurses, that some of them that actually work in there that don't give a shit about anyone's health, for the donations? Why don't you ask the hospital CEOs? They're making a shit ton of money, okay? The government already donates a bunch of money. What is my piddly little peanuts that I make at my job going to do for a hospital that don't care about my health?